scientists, we know we are looking up and something truly amazing right there is happening in the sky and to the star, which is at the center of our solar system.
You do sound like a scientist.
Yes, sir. I looked that up myself.
Good.
Come on, man.
You slept at a Holiday Inn last night.
Yeah, right.
But what exactly is a solar eclipse? Can you kind of break this all down?
You know, it's interesting. We hear about lunar eclipses and now solar eclipses. Now the total solar eclipse, which is really cool. Chief Meteorologist Bill Kelly breaks down the science in our new virtual reality studio. Check this out.
So how does it work? Well, we'll bring in the sun, the moon, and the earth. And what a solar eclipse is, simply put, is the moon shadows some of the light from the sun. And you might be thinking, well, how does that work? I mean, the sun is so much bigger than the moon. And you're right, the sun's actually 400 times larger than the moon. Well, how does it shadow it? Well, it's also 400 times farther away, so when you think about that perspective, they look like a similar size in the sky. And if everything is lined up just perfectly right in this line, you're going to get totality and that beautiful, beautiful eclipse. Let me show you what it looks like. This is what it might look like from space as you zoom on into the Earth. An actual shadow that's rolling across the country, in our case, over 2 hours. So let me bring up a map of the United States. I'm going to walk you through what's going to happen and put up some of these cities because this is a major, major event for a lot of cities. In fact, 31.6 million people will be under the path of totality. It's going to start down here in Texas and it's going to make its way up to the northeast. In fact, we have it drawn on the map, this shadowing, as this is rolling through for a 2-hour period. It's moving at over 1,000 miles per hour and it will take that time to get through the country. In fact, I'm going to I'll bring our cities down, and this line that we have drawn, this is the path of totality, this dark line that goes from the southwest to the northeast. Now, here in Philadelphia, we are not going to be in totality, but we are going to be in the 90% range. And what that means is that 90% of the sun is going to be covered by the moon. So you put on your glasses, your special glasses, that you can look at the sun, and it's very important to wear, and you'll see just a sliver of the sun. It is going to be an absolutely amazing sight. A couple of other things to tell you about. Because the moon is so much closer to the Earth this time versus 2017, when we last had one of these in our country, the path of totality is going to be about 50 miles wider. In addition to that, many more people are in the path of totality. And the last point I want to tell you is that we will be under what's called a solar maximum. And what that means is when you're in totality and in that darkness for 3.5 to 4 minutes, and you're looking up at it, you're going to see the corona from the sun. You're going to see the sun's atmosphere. It's going to be absolutely amazing, off the charts. And if you can't see it this time, you'll have another chance in August of 2044.
Oh, just right around the corner.
Yeah, right.
Very cool. Thanks so much, Bill. This is a live picture at the eclipse right now.
Now, G, peak is at 3:23, about a little less than 20 minutes from now. What should we expect?
So what we showed you at the very top and what we're showing you right here, this is what you should expect. If you have those glasses that you can look at the sun safely, you will see that bite or that crescent of the sun. But like Bill said, we're not going to see that total solar eclipse where the moon moves directly over the sun, but we will see more and more of that sun disappear as the moon continues to move more and more over the sun. Let me show you this right here, because Bill was talking about that shadow moving across the U.S. This is a live satellite loop. So literally you're looking at what the satellites are taking pictures of our clouds, and you see that shadow moving right along the path of totality. That is the moon shadow as that path of totality travels from Texas all the way across to the northeast across the United States. Now, here locally, we are not in that path of totality, but we will still see that partial solar eclipse if the clouds cooperate. Our partial eclipse started just after 2 o'clock, right around 2:08 this afternoon. So we've had an opportunity to see this partial eclipse as the moon moves more and more over the sun. But there are some clouds. There's some breaks in those clouds. So you'll get a period of sunshine, and then the clouds will roll back in and it'll just be more of that filtered light, that filtered sunshine. So I think as we head through the next couple of hours up until around 4:35, we will have the chance, or you will have the chance, to be able to see this partial solar eclipse, which is 90% coverage of the sun. Watch here. This is a forecast of the clouds as we head through the next few hours. Even though our forecast is saying we will have 100% cloud cover overhead, there will still be some breaks in the clouds, so we'll be able to see this partial eclipse. Let's take you through the second half of the eclipse. Still a partial eclipse through around 4:35 or so. That's as the moon will move more and more away from the disk of the sun, so that bite out of the sun will get less and less. And still, though, some places we'll see out towards Toms River, Atlantic City, Millville, it'll say 100% sky coverage because of the cloud cover. But I do think still there'll be some breaks in the clouds that will allow us to see at least part of this partial solar eclipse here across the area. If you're not able to see it, this is what it would look like if you're using those solar eclipse glasses. Again, it started right around 2:08. Here comes the moon in front of the disk of the sun, taking more and more of that chunk. There's that 90% coverage, technically 90.1% coverage. That happens at 3:23, and then there goes the moon, and then eventually there goes our partial eclipse. It will all wrap up right around 4:35 this afternoon. It is a gorgeous afternoon. Otherwise, temperatures are generally in the middle to lower 60s across the area. We just do have, guys, some of those scattered clouds around the region, but it's scattered enough so that we are able to get some glimpses of the sunshine. I think if there weren't an eclipse going on, we would say this is probably one of the best days of spring so far.
Yeah.
But obviously, we want the sunshine, and we are getting peaks of that sunshine in between.
You
clouds.
mentioned 90% coverage.
Yep.
Now that 10%, though, it's still important to wear the glasses because that's just like still looking into the sun, right, with that 10%?
Right. Yeah, you don't look at the sun on a normal day. You don't want to look at the sun
Right.
if it's still just partially covered, because like you said, that 10%, that could hurt your eyes, something you don't want to mess with.
Yeah.
Bingo.
Mm. They canceled all games after school at the middle school today.
Oh, okay.
Yes. It's hard to tell middle schoolers, 13, 14-year-olds not to do
It's
something.
hard to tell adults.
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah, you know,
Right.
even I want to go look at it, but got to put on the glasses.
It's an exciting
Right,
time,
right.
that's for sure. And the excitement for today's phenomena has been building for weeks.
A number of local colleges and science centers are hosting watch party today.
Yeah,
watch parties.
We have reporters all over the place at these watch parties around the region. Brandon Goldner is in Rowan University in Glassboro for their watch party.
Stephanie Stahl is at Temple Health Sciences campus with tips to protect your eyes, as we talked about during the eclipse.
But first, let's go out to Nikki Dementry. She's at the Franklin Institute in Center City. Nikki, it's like Christmas today out there.
Jessica, Yuki, Christmas, Super Bowl, World Series, I mean, all wrapped into one, right? But right now we're dealing with a little bit of cloud cover. So Grant, if you can move those clouds a little bit, that'd be great, because we all want to be able to see that 90% totality at that maximum at 3:23. But the party started here. It just honestly got quiet. It was bumping a little bit right before we came on. There's a DJ behind me. But the party started at 1:30. People started lining up here at noon. And one of those people is Jamila Abraham. Talk to me about who you came out with today first.
I came out with my family, my children, my fiance.
Why come out? Why was it so important to come out and experience this with your family and your kiddos today?
Well, I love to create memories, and I thought that this would be a awesome experience for them, for them, not just to see it on like a encyclopedia or on the internet, but for us to actually experience it. So.
I was going to say, making memories with a 12 and an 8-year-old. They're never going to forget this. What have you guys experienced so far?
Oh, like you said, so far, a ton of people came out from across the city, from out of town. I see people out here with suitcases. So far, we met a lot of people, and we saw before the clouds took over the sky, we saw a partial covering. So yeah, I'm excited to see the full totality once. If these clouds move, we were just talking about this huge cloud that just covered the sun. So hopefully this cloud will move and we could actually experience the full totality of this eclipse.
Absolutely, and that's what we're all hoping for. You're hoping for that too?
Yeah.
Absolutely. We're all hoping for that right now. Thank you so much, Jamila. We're going to touch back base with her as we head towards that maximum total partial eclipse, not total eclipse, partial eclipse. But I want to show you a little bit of the party that's going on right now. My photographer, Nate Silvis, is heading towards the steps. As I mentioned, there's a DJ here. Just look at the amount of people here. People have their glasses out. It is a little bit cloudy right now, so it's a little hard to see everything going on. The party lasts until 5 tonight, so if you're out here, it's free. Might as well come out and enjoy with everybody here. Back to you guys in the studio, though.
Good time.
Yeah, thanks, Nikki. All you need are your glasses to show up.
That's right, that's right. Don't forget that. Now, let's head out to South Jersey with reporter Brandon Goldner.
He is live at Rowan University, where students and professors are gathering to watch the eclipse. Brandon, what you got out there, sir?
Hey everyone, so hundreds of people are out here at Rowan University. We're seeing some of those scattered clouds that are happening right now. So a lot of people going ooh and ah every time there's a little break in the clouds. Let's talk to some students out here. We've got Ryan and we've got Malcolm. So we'll start with Ryan. Just look at me, pretend there's no camera here, us friends having a conversation. Yeah. Ryan, let me ask you, what brought you out here today?
It's a one-of-a-kind experience, I guess. Probably the other half of the world won't get to see it. I think it's only visible from this side of the world. So it's a nice experience. The clouds got on the way before the moon got on the way. So we are getting a glimpse in between the clouds. So can't see actually.
Let me ask you, what's it like being out here among your fellow students and faculty watching this event?
Really excited. We are really excited to be here. Really excited to see the wonderful event that the nature is offering. I mean, no one. I think it's for another 75 years. There's nothing like this, right?
Absolutely.
So I think it's one of a kind experience in my lifetime. So pretty excited to be here.
Perfect. Now let's go over to you, Malcolm. Malcolm, I mean, what's going through your mind right now with these clouds out here?
All I can think about is how I'm grateful to even just be here. This is my first time seeing like a solar eclipse, like being part of an event like this. Like even though there's clouds passing by, I don't even care. I'm having a good time over here. I'm liking all this.
What's it like being out here with all your friends and fellow students?
I think it's a good experience. The fact that I'm here with my friends, with people who I recognize, even people I don't recognize. Like just having knowing that the whole university, or at least majority of it, is just out here enjoying this event. I think it's good that an event like this can bring people together, that we all can just look up and enjoy this phenomenon that's happening. So I think it's pretty cool that we're all here.
Perfect. Malcolm, Ryan, thank you so much. Really do appreciate it. We're again hoping that these clouds are going to just pass right through here. Everyone is just oohing and eyeing every time there's a little break in the cloud. So hopefully we'll be able to see that eclipse once it reaches 90% in just a few minutes. We'll send it back over to you all in the studio.
All right, Brandon, thank you, and thank your new friends for us as well.
I'm with Malcolm. Clouds or no clouds, this is a special time.
Cool.
It's a special time. We can't talk about the eclipse though without, of course, talking safety.
Sure, and while it may be tempting to just look right at the sun or to put sunglasses on, don't
do it. No, it'll hurt. You may not feel it right away, but it could be troublesome. Looking directly at the sun during an eclipse, partial or even full, can cause serious eye damage.
That being said, health reporter Stephanie Stahl is at Temple Health's Department of Ophthalmology, and they are hosting a viewing party as well, but with an emphasis on eye health. Hey, Steph.
Stand by. Hey, Yuki, we've got our glasses. We are here with the Temple University Ophthalmology Department. This is doctors and residents. We are on the 5th floor of a parking lot here, so we could have a view, some ahs and oohs as the clouds go by, but emphasizing everybody wearing these solar glasses to be able to safely view this eclipse. Joining me now is the head of the department, Dr. Jeffrey Henderer. What do you think?
Well, this is pretty darn amazing. Yeah. It's wonderful to have all the folks here from Temple. We have students, we have faculty, we have staff. It's a fantastic event.
Talk about the dangers and your concerns if somebody takes a glimpse up there without these glasses.
Well, that is the problem, is that these solar glasses really do protect you from the harmful rays of the sun. You can actually burn your retina if you stare at the sun. So we don't want that. We want you to look through the solar glasses.
If that happens, when would people start seeing or feeling the symptoms?
Pretty quickly, because you can burn the retina very quickly, and that would not be something that could be fixable. So that's something that you really want to avoid.
We are getting close to our 90% totality, but there are some dark clouds on the horizon here. Is it getting darker because of the clouds or because of the eclipse?
I think it's mostly the eclipse, but the clouds unfortunately are playing a role too. So in between the clouds, we get little peaks of oohs and ahs of the sun, and that so hopefully we'll get a break in the cloud shortly.
Doctor, thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you.
You can see, absolutely, thanks for having us. You can see everybody behind us. When they look up, everybody puts their glasses on, and you can see some oohs and ahs from people from the ophthalmology department. But as we've been saying, this is a must. Anytime you look there, you gotta have these on. Back to you guys.
Yes, indeed.
They look really good on you, Steph.
They do.
You should wear those even after the eclipse.
Yes, they do. Hey, real quick, the wife and I went to see Kong and Godzilla yesterday in 3D. coming out. We heard some teenagers, hey, I wonder if I could wear these for the eclipse. No.
No.
Don't even think of that. I told them that.
Good.
I said, fellas, come
Uncle
on.
Yuki said
That's right. No.
Yeah.
Now, what if some of our viewers don't have solar eclipse glasses?
Yeah, you have an interesting way that people can still check out the phenomenon.
If the clouds aren't in the way.
Right.
That's going to be the key. But look, it involves something that you likely have lying around your kitchen. I'll explain. As our coverage of the solar eclipse continues here on CBS News Philadelphia, we'll be right back.
We know this community by heart. CBS News Philadelphia.
Welcome back. We are inching closer to the peak of the solar eclipse here in our area.
Yeah, we're exactly 5 minutes away. Now, if you don't have those fancy solar eclipse glasses, do not worry. You don't have to run to your neighbor's house to see if they have any. We will have an alternate idea for you. Grant's setting up right now. He has a very interesting experiment to show everyone.
Well, hopefully it was nice. They sent these to, well, we ordered them in the newsroom.
Right.
I know my son's school, they passed them out to all of the kids.
Good.
Yeah, but like you were saying, it's so important that you actually have the correct glasses.
And the correct glasses will have in the corner right over the ear guard ISO 12312-22015. That's certification, so you got to have that.
If you don't have them, it's too late. But meteorologist Grant Gilmore is out on the sky deck to explain Plan B, Grant.
Plan B, that's right. If you didn't order the glasses, you don't have a neighbor that's going to share the glasses with you. Use a colander or a strainer. You could even use a pinhole projector, but I think this is much cooler. Now, look, the clouds have rolled in. It's actually fairly overcast out on the sky deck right now. I was out here earlier, right when the eclipse began, and I used this colander to project the image of this partial eclipse onto a paper plate. I think we have a picture of how it looks. All you do is you turn your back to the sun because you don't want to look directly into the sun. It could damage your retinas. But what it would do is the light shining into the colander would then project that crescent of the sun onto anything on the ground, whether it's a paper plate or just the ground or the sidewalk. So if you get a break in the clouds, which we do not have out here on the sky deck right now, you would see that. But I do want to take our other camera because I want to show you kind of how to do it. So if you do something like this, is get low to the ground and you take your colander, again, back to the sun. That's the important thing because, again, you don't want to look into it. But you will cast a shadow. So you kind of bend down low and then you basically just kind of move it just like you would be adjusting a projector screen, like if you're using it for a movie at home, and you'd be able to get a really cool image. Now, I've posted this image on social media so you can see that because I don't think we have that right now for you to see at home. But it is still a very cool way to view this cool event without using a solar eclipse glasses or without obviously taking the chance of looking, which obviously you do not want to do. Here's the photo. We just got it. So you see how all those individual little holes, those are the holes of the strainer. And then you see that little crescent? that is in each one of those holes, that is the ongoing eclipse. I took this picture right around 2:15. The eclipse began at 2:08. Now, much more of the sun is being covered by the moon currently, except we also currently have cloud cover overhead. So we'll track it. We'll see if we can get some more breaks in the clouds. But guys, still, it's a cool way to view it. If you don't have the glasses, of course, the best way to view it is with the glasses, or right here on CBS Philadelphia. We've got those live pictures.
Right.
Very nice.
Cool. Yeah, then go inside and make some pasta. Thank you.
Right.
That's right.
We're getting close. We'll be right back. We're getting close. 2 minutes. Back in a bit.
A little chilly out here. How are you? I didn't see this earlier when it was. How are you?
Oh, we're live. We are live. Here we are. But unfortunately, the eclipse isn't, well, it is, but we can't see it. A lot of clouds, G.
I talked to Bill Kelly about that. He said that he was going to work on it for a little bit later. But, oh, man, it's overcast out here. I mean, Yuki, you can't see because you've got your glasses on completely.
I can't see a thing.
It's very dark out here.
It is. It is.
Oh, man, it's really too bad. The overcast skies, there are some breaks of sky here or there, but if you can't see the blue sky, you can't see the sun, you're not going to see the eclipse.
Well, the silver lining is nobody will hurt their eyes in this situation.
There you go. Very true. But it is interesting, though, Yuki, I will say, the darkness, the light has been reduced significantly from what it otherwise would be, because now 90% of the sunlight that we would have normally had is now being blocked by the moon. So even though we can't see the sun, you can still tell it's odd out here. It's this weird darkness. I mean, it's what, 3:24 right now? So 90% of the sunlight over Philadelphia in our area is being blocked by the sun. So it is dark. It feels like it's the middle of winter right around sunset time on an overcast day, as opposed to the middle of the afternoon.
But how much time do you think we have until we could possibly see some?
So the eclipse lasts until 4:35. So a few breaks in the clouds until 4:35, you'll still be able to see this partial eclipse. It's not going to be that 90% coverage, but you'll still be able to see part of it. So get your glasses. I was just talking about using the calendar. You could use that too, to be able to witness and observe the eclipse.
Can I ask you, I heard BK talking to you about this in the studio. Now that it is behind the clouds and then it's blocking the sun, right? Does that have anything to do with the clouds forming because of the condensation? Did I explain that correctly? That's kind of what he was saying, right?
You're right. I mean, when you have a temperature at a certain point and then you drop that temperature, there is going to be condensation that would create that cloud cover. So that may have added a little bit more of our cloud cover. We already had some scattered cloud cover around the area when the eclipse started. So we may have been a little bit, had a little bit more of that cloud cover fill in as the temperature began to drop, as we started to lose some of that solar radiation, and resulted in temperatures going from like 65 down to 62. Yeah.
From what you've seen from around the country that we've shown on national coverage as well, are you just mind blown about it all?
what's really cool about it is you're getting an entire country excited about science, excited about our solar system, and we're all sharing it together. So it's a science experiment, but it's also a social experience as well that we're all enjoying. Even people who don't really care about science, they're all impacted by it today in one way or another.
You're looking at a live picture right now from NASA of what is going on. The solar eclipse. It's unbelievable. Everyone is doing something today. We've had watch parties. We've had all kinds of events for this one moment in time.
I love seeing all the college kids out. We had Brandon out at Rowan University. Steph was out at Temple for an event. It's just cool, like you said, to see all the camaraderie. Everybody's talking about it everywhere. So it is. It's very nice. So hopefully we'll just have to look at the video here in Philadelphia. It's all good.
Now, you did the colander experiment. I was just curious. What about an empty toilet paper roll? Did that work the same way, like just the cardboard part?
You'd have to get something that would create a hole. So you could use a toilet paper roll, but the better thing to do would be use like a paper plate.
Okay.
If you just put a hole through that paper plate, and then that would cast that light through a shadowed area, and then you'd get that projection onto a plate or the ground or something like that.
Gotcha. Well, interest is high. I mean, Jim, take a look at our sky deck up here. We've got, I was going to get you on camera. Come on now, our fellow employees, including our general manager, vice president, we're all here. We're waiting for these clouds to move. We've got our glasses. Yes, we've got the glasses. Yes, indeed. We've got people behind the camera watching. This is just a special day.
Everybody is ready.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I was the only one that actually did not have them until we got here. Casey's over here with the sunglasses. They look really good. We could watch the reflection off the dome.
Fantastic. What? They're not moving a bit. No. Not moving a bit. They're going to be with us for a while, these clouds.
Hopefully they clear out before 4:30, because until then we got a chance.
We got a chance. We got a
That's
chance.
what we can hope for.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. All righty. Well, I'm going to just save these for another time.
What, 20 years?
20 years from now. That's right. That's right. Yeah, but do it again. We'll do it live.
2017, though, everyone today was talking about where were you in 2017, and I remember being outside and looking and seeing it. It was nice and clear, and you remember it vividly.
Sure.
So, to everyone who is actually getting to see this today, what a special treat for them.
Indeed. I was with my late father. I still have the picture. He has his glasses on, looking up. I put the glasses on. We took a picture together. You'll never forget it. You'll never forget it. We'll probably never forget this one.
No, we won't. It's a shared experience, like we said, and that's something that's so unique, I think, to human beings. Is we're aware of what's happening. We're doing it together with friends, family, or even strangers,
right.
and it's still a shared experience that we'll remember. Even if it's cloudy, I think people will say, "Oh man, I remember in 2024 when we had that eclipse," and we'll be like, "Yeah, it was cloudy," but that's okay. That's okay. We got excited about it, and that's what's important.
Gee, come over here. There's a live picture from Maine we are looking at right now. And once again, that sliver, looking at that sliver, you must have your glasses on, because even that sliver is like looking dead into the sun, correct?
Absolutely correct. Yeah. You'll deal with some eyesight damage if you are looking up at that. So that's why the folks at NASA, they have their filters over their telescopes, and they're really fancy cameras to be able to see that. And the best we can do is look at it with our glasses if you don't have anything fancy like that, but you don't want to look at it with the naked eye.
If I remember from your path of totality, the New England area looked like, the last map I saw, looks like they're going to have a pretty clean shot at it.
It's so ironic, because climatologically the Northeast is very cloudy this time of the year. They get a lot of nor'easters, right? We're familiar with that. We get nor'easters. We have cold fronts that come through. There's cloud cover, which seems like every day. I mean, just last week we went 5 days straight with rain, right? And so to have the Northeast, Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, have some of the best viewing in the entire country is really astounding, and good for them. They have enough cloud cover. They get clear skies for an eclipse. That's fantastic.
We thank you. We thank you for watching our coverage, and we will continue at 4 o'clock on CBS News Philadelphia. The Eclipse 2024. Thanks for watching, fam. We'll see you at 4.